Hey guys! So today I'm going to be doing my first ever anime character analysis, and lately I've been watching the anime Mirai aka Future Diary. Now for those who have seen Future Diary, I think you know what's coming next. Not only that, but the title obviously alludes to what I'm going to be talking about today, or who rather. I'm going to be talking about Miss Yuno Gasai. So yes, Yuno Gasai. For those who have seen Mirai aka Future Diary, some choice words might come to mind, like crazy, psycho, crazy girlfriend. But you know what? I personally feel for Yuno, so today's video is going to be dedicated to analyzing one of the most popular yanderes in anime history. Now before I continue on, this video may contain spoilers, so if you have not seen Mirai aka Future Diary, I do suggest that you maybe click off this video, go check the anime out, and then watch this video once you've, got yourself caught up to speed. So what exactly is a yandere, for those of you who don't know? Honestly, I'm going to try to describe this as best I can. Basically, a yandere is somebody who has two distinct, different personalities. The first personality, they can be rather sweet, very nice. They're in love with somebody. For example, Yuno is very much in love with the protagonist of Mirai Yukiteru Amano. But the second personality, well, the second personality is just, for lack of better wording, crazy. So one minute they're sweet and nice and loving, and then the next minute they turn just like that, and they're just like psycho and insane, and some of their actions can result in bloodshed and major violence towards other people. But yeah, if anyone tries to take Yuki away from Yuno, she goes to the dark side immediately and be crazy. Now a little bit more about Yuno's background. Basically, Yuno's home life was not the best, not the greatest at all. She was actually adopted, and her adoptive parents, well, let's just say that her father was really never there, and her mother locked Yuno in a cage and physically and verbally abused her. Her adoptive mother would take her frustrations out on Yuno, and Yuno would endure this abuse, and she endured it for so long until finally she snapped. She eventually ended up locking her adoptive parents in that same cage that they locked her in, because she believed that if they endured the same torture, the same abuse that she had, they would soon grow to once again become loving parents. But that wasn't the case, because Yuno left them in the cage for too long, and they actually died of starvation and or dehydration. So at this point in time, Yuno really has nothing left in her life, nothing stable in her life. Her parents are dead, the bills have gone unpaid, so electricity and water and, all the utilities in her home have been, turned off, and she's always getting into trouble at school. And it's also gotten to the point where she's talking to her parents' dead bodies as if they were still there. So slowly descending into this, madness, insanity. But one day while she's in detention taking a survey about her dreams, she decides to turn to the only other person in the classroom, who happens to be, yet again, our protagonist, Yukiteru Amano. Yuno's first interactions with Yuki involved him, talking to her about how he was going to go stargazing with his parents, but it was ruined because his parents, recently got divorced, and that, in a way kind of ruined his dream. And then Yuno talks about how, maybe I could go stargazing with you. And then she makes a point of saying, maybe I could one day become your bride. Now Yuki says yes to it, and he agrees that, once the two of them have grown up, that, that could happen. However, he thought that Yuno was joking when he made this comment. She, however, took it as something entirely different and took it seriously and began to become obsessed with Yuki. Now it's obvious that Yuno's crazy. She didn't have any stability in her life at that point, and talking to Yuki and, believing what he said and taking it seriously about her eventually becoming his bride, even though he thought she was joking, but she didn't know that. Anyways, it was that stability that she needed. Fast forward to the survival games. So Yuno is protecting Yuki with her life, because in her Yukiteru diary, also known as the Diary of Future Love, it says that on July 28th, her and Yuki will come together and have their happy ending, and Yuno is willing to do anything to secure that and to make sure that it happens. So if anybody comes after Yuki, Yuno's gonna come after them and kill them, because that's how Yuno works. If anybody comes between her and Yuki, she's gonna kill them. And if there's anybody who she thinks is going to come between her and Yuki at some point in time, she's gonna go after them and try and kill them as well, because that's how Yuno works and that's how she is. She wants to secure that happy ending. and she's not gonna let anyone come between her and Yuki. Now, as I said before, Yuno has the Yukiteru diary, also known as the Diary of Future Love, in her possession. So basically, she gets updates on Yukiteru, everything Yukiteru, in 10-minute intervals. So it's technically the ultimate stalker diary. So we get towards the end of the anime and find out that the current Yuno is actually a Yuno from a different timeline. She had already played the survival game in the first world, so what happened was Yuno's first world self and Yuki's first world self, both of them had decided to just commit a double suicide, die together, and let the world destruct. So their plan was to take pills, die together of overdose. So Yuki takes the pills, swallows them, and he dies of an overdose. Yuno, however, doesn't swallow the pills and spits them out after Yuki has died, so she won the first world survival game. Now, after becoming a goddess, her plan was to resurrect Yuki from the dead. However, she finds out later on that you can't use your powers to resurrect somebody from the dead. Now, Yuno loses her frickin' mind and becomes super distraught. She decides that it's best to just go to the second world. Go to the second world and murder her second world self and take her place and play the survival game a second time in the second world with the second world's Yukiteru to try again for that happy ending with him. Now, at this point, I was like, holy frick, mind blown. I was kind of conflicted at first. I mean, at the end of the day, Yuno practically killed herself when she killed her second world counterpart. But it's still killing an innocent being who, at this point in time, you know, things could have changed for the second world Yuno. Like, who knows? Things could have changed. So that was sad to me. However, I do understand that Yuno has so much frustration at the fact that the world just doesn't seem to want her and Yuki to be happy together. And so the fact that she traveled, you know, to the second world to try and have another chance at getting that happy ending, I can understand why she would do that. Things do come to a bit of a head though when Yuno says that the relationship between her and Yuki is just a sham of a relationship that just benefits both people. Yuno being, you know, emotionally supported by Yukiteru and being emotionally dependent on him, and Yuki hiding behind Yuno for most of the survival game and just, you know, like hiding behind her. So she sees it as a sham and just calls it out for what she thinks it is. However, it's made evident that she really does love Yuki. She really does love him, and it may have started out as a sham. It may have started out as, you know, just a sham of a relationship that was just there to benefit two people, but it actually turned into true love and turned into something really great. Now, at the end of everything, Yuki tells Yuno to just kill him. He professes his love for her, and he tells her to kill him in order to save the second world. However, Yuno actually kills herself and commits suicide, making Yukiteru the new god of the second world, and he's whisked away to, you know, save the timeline and everything. And he's obviously, you know, emotionally broken. Like, he was in love with Yuno, and it's seen in the anime that, you know, he just constantly is, you know, grieving and just super, you know, heartbroken at losing Yuno. So there was obviously love there on his part as well. All in all, Yuno's still freaking crazy. Obviously, she's still freaking crazy. Like, throughout the anime, she murders several people without even having a second thought. And it's all to protect her love, Yuki. And you know what? I feel for her because, you know, her tragic home life really, you know, just kind of set things off, and it's where it started, her descent into this insanity. And just at the end of the day, I feel for Yuno. I feel for her, and I honestly do suggest that, you know, if you're into psychological thrillers with a little, you know, action and romance sprinkled in there, check out Mirai Nikki. It's a really good anime. I do personally suggest you check it out if you're into that sort of thing. But it was a really good anime, and Yuno is an amazing character. I really enjoy Yuno as a character, and she's just nuts, but I love her. So that's all for now, you guys. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. Also, comment down below with any anime characters that you'd like me to do a character analysis on. I'm going to try to do this again at some point in time. I don't know when, but I'm going to try. So yeah, leave me some characters down in the comments below, and let's see, you know, how many characters I recognize, because I've seen a fair amount of anime, so we'll see what happens. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys like my videos. Keep being awesome, and I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye, guys.